Okay guys, these are your notes on direct variation. So go ahead and write the heading. I will go through the slideshow and talk to you about what it all means. So, direct variation. When we say y varies directly as x, it means that y equals a number times x, where k is a constant. Kind of looks like this equation of a line, right? Y equals mx plus b. We can also write it, think about this equation. If we solve for k, we would divide both sides by x. So you can find the constant of variation by dividing y by x. Constant variation in a direct variation is the ratio of the two variables, the ratio of y to x. Remember, ratio is just a fancy word for fraction. Here's a table. We've looked at these before. You can see that x is going up and y is going up. But the question is, are they going up at the same rate? Is the slope constant? So what's the constant of variation? Well, we have our equation y equals kx, and if we want to solve for k, we're going to do y divided by x. So we'll do 12 divided by 6, 16 divided by 8, 14 divided by 7, and for all of these, k is 2. So the constant of variation is 2. You can also look at it as the slope. Going from 12 to 14, you're going up 2, and from 6 to 7, you're going up 1. So finding the constant of variation is basically just finding the slope. And then the equation would be y equals 2x. Now this time, y is going down and x is going down. It's still direct variation because it's going down at a constant rate. So see if you can figure out what the constant of variation is. Remember, k equals y divided by x. So in this case, it would just be 3. Here we're going up 3 and up 12. Up 6 and up 24. So the constant of variation is 1/4. So your equation would be y equals 1/4 x. What's the constant of variation for the following? See if you can answer it. And the constant of variation is -2. Is this one a direct variation? So we could say that k equals 6 divided by 4, which is 3/2. 12 divided by 8, which is also 3/2, 18 divided by 12, which is also 3/2, or 27 divided by 18, which is also 3/2. So it is a direct variation, and the constant of variation is 3/2. So your equation would be y equals 3/2 x. Try this one. Well, think about it as y over x. So 25 over 15 reduces to 5 over 2. 15 over 6 reduces to 5 over 2. 10 over 4 and 5 over 2, they all reduce to 5 over 2. So the constant of variation is 5 over 2. You could also do it the same way we did it before and say 25 to 15 is down 10. This is down 4. So 10 over 4 is 5/2. What about this one? 5 over 15 is 1/3. 26 over 3 is not 1/3. So this would not be direct variation. So look at these 4 tables and determine which one is direct variation. Hopefully you got that A was direct variation. Which of these equations describes this table? Well, the constant of variation is 5 over 10, or 1 over 2, or 6 over 12. The constant of variation is 1/2. So your equation would be y equals 1/2 x. Using direct variation to find the unknowns. So if we're told that it varies directly, that means it is direct variation. So we would say 28 over 7 equals 52 over what? So we know that k is 4, and our equation is y equals 4x. So we would say 52, that's the y, equals 4 times our unknown, because that's what we're trying to find, is this x right here. So x must be 13. Try this one. We would say y equals kx, so k equals 1/3, 3 divided by 9. So our equation is y equals 1/3 x. But we don't know what y is, but we do know what x is. So y equals 1/3 times 40.5. 13.5. Try this one. Your constant of variation is negative 1.2, and therefore your unknown is 9.6. Again, if you didn't get that right, go back, rewind the video, and watch again and see if you can understand how we got that. A car uses 8 gallons of gas to travel 290 miles. How much gas will the car use to travel 400 miles? So again, we have our independent and our dependent variables, and we're going to go 290 over 8 to find your constant of variation, and then your equation will be y equals 36.25 times x, and then plug in what you know. You know that y is 400, so here's your equation. Divide both sides by your constant of variation to find your x. Try this one. Y is 178.5. We know that y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And we're going to talk a lot more about this in the next section, but hopefully you've seen this before. If not, don't stress out. I'll teach it to you. But in this case, direct variation is y equals a constant times x. Notice there's no plus or minus here. With direct variation, there never will be, because it always has to go through the origin. Direct variation will always go through the origin. So which of these is direct variation? Well, this one doesn't go through the origin, and this one doesn't. This one does, but it's not a constant line. This one is direct variation. How about here? There's 2. See if you can find which ones are direct variation. Okay, so hopefully you understand direct variation. It's simply y equals kx, where k is always a constant. Alrighty.